Yeah.
What is going on?
I'm dancing and
What? Yes, he is. He is Bill Apter as always. And it's interesting because I think I've said it's been a while since he's been on the show, but I think I've been doing.
I was on last week. What are you talking about?
Here we go. But already, Bill Apter already with the rim shot moment, ladies and gentlemen. Already, it's less than 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. I've said this many times before. Of course, he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since he's been on the show, but he's one of my most frequent people I've ever interviewed. I've been in the journalist industry for 15 years now, I believe. Yeah. And
15, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Yeah, 2025 marks 15 years. And yeah, so I mean, it's been a few people that I've interviewed the most and enjoyed interviewing the most. The reason why I interview them the most because I like interviewing them. And he is one of the people on the list of my most interviewed wrestlers of all time. And
I'm going for that Guinness World Record.
Yes, and he's going for the Guinness. Yes, and he's he's almost there. I don't remember. I know that Ken Anderson's up there, Eric Bischoff's up there, you're up there. There's like, Saturday Night Live. I used to be a huge Saturday Night Live fan in the between 90s and 2000s. And they used to have a thing called Oh yeah, absolutely. They used to have a thing called the 5 Timers Club, and people would get like rewarded every time they were guest hosts for 5 times or more. And so yes, JTG is definitely in the 5 Timers Club of my personal interviews, and hopefully 10, hopefully 15, and and more. This is probably like 7, man. Yeah,
because I'm like, I know I did more than 5.
Yeah, it's been like 7 or 8, man. It's been a lot.
Don't hold up 4.
Don't hold up to 4.
Don't do 4. Yeah, we way past 4. Then don't do the 5.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do the 5 as well. Yeah, I don't know. We're probably at 8 now. I think so. It's closer to 10 than a 5. That's for sure. So, I love interviewing you, man. I got to
tell you something. We're talking about times.
Yep, go for it.
I do too, and some of my favorite interviews were with Cryme Tyme. Some of my favorite interviews. We had a lot of fun doing interviews backstage, right, JTG?
Yeah, thank you, Bill.
You're right. By the way, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know what JTG stands for.
Really? Oh wow. We never covered that, Chris.
I believe we have. Yes,
eight times you've been on the show.
Yes,
well,
yes, we have. Bill Apter
a lot of
wasn't there
people who
for any
might
of the
not
time
know.
like this.
Well, let's fill Bill in.
Yes.
So JTG went through an evolutionary process. You know, when I first started in OVW, it was stood for Just Too Good, because that's what I used to always end my promos with when I was in Rip Rogers' class. We started becoming a ongoing gag. I'm just too good, and I also started doing it in my training. We used to train us. We used to do like we used to do segments, and then at the end of every segment, I would do push-ups, you know, because everybody used to be tired, and I just wanted to one up everybody and do push-ups. I'm just too good. But anyway, that's where JTG came from, just too good. And then when I got to WWE, the character, just too gangster, you know, fit very well, just too gangster. And then as I evolved to where I am now, the state of consciousness, the God, Jay the God. So yes, it evolved.
I didn't know that.
Yes, indeed.
I didn't know that.
So,
I know, you know, we brought you on here to talk about several things, but do you still follow WWE?
Yeah, I still follow it. I'm not like a diehard fan. I don't watch every single Monday Night Raw. My mom is, so I catch a few episodes with her. Well, yeah, she knows what's going on, but yeah, I can't. That's too much wrestling. Too much wrestling for me.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, she watches it all too.
If you could jump through that TV when you're watching it with her, who would be the guy that you'd want to challenge?
Oh, who's on my radar now? You know, what's his name? The former champ, the stiff guy. I don't know why I'm getting a blank.
The former champ, former
Gunther.
Gunther, yes, Gunther, yeah. Gunther, yeah, I'll have some fun with Gunther, yeah. Pause.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, he said that he wanted to. Undertaker said that if there was one person that he would come back for retirement, it would be Gunther.
Really? I didn't know that.
He said on his podcast. You worked with the Undertaker for many, many years. Do you have any fond, interesting, perhaps spicy Undertaker stories that you can recall?
I have one that I shared earlier, and I have Beth Phoenix as my witness. I've only experienced this once, and Undertaker was one of the human beings that did this. So me and Beth Phoenix are chilling in the trainer's office. This is SummerSlam at the Staples Center.
Okay.
I think this is when Taker made his comeback that night. But anyway, we was in the back, and we was in the trainer's office, and we just looked up at each other at the same time. It was like in sync. It was like we just got this weird feeling. We looked at each other, and we just kind of did like that look. And then we turned around like at the same time, and it was Undertaker behind us, and we kind of like did like this. That's like creepy, like as a kid, we always thought he was a phenom, but like he literally has like an aura. Yeah. Not all the time, but that night he definitely had something. I don't know if he meditated before he came to the arena, but there was something you could feel his presence before he approached. Yeah, you just knew. Yeah, you knew his presence was there.
Now it's interesting because, and we'll definitely get to your. I read a big chunk of your book, and I highlighted and wrote some questions as I was reading it on my phone. I was writing on it and writing some questions I want to ask. So with the Undertaker thing, he's been a part of some backstage stuff. They've put him in, more backstage stuff recently. He's been even shown backstage as kind of having an interest with being more kind of in tune or kind of involved and even creative and showing interest there. Have you ever thought about you have a lot of years in the business now? Have you ever thought about coming back to the WWE for a potential creative role like an NXT or anything like that? I know that you're still super at it, super competing and things like that, but what about from a creative standpoint?
Yeah, that definitely crossed my mind because I'm very creative. But at my age, I want to be I'm into it. I'm too into it right now. I'm not at that bridge yet. But when it's time to cross that bridge, I'll definitely probably take that opportunity because that's just a platform for me to express my creativity. But as of right now, I'm in the ring.
You could still get in. Your health is good. Your body is in great shape. Do you work out every day, or are you still training?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm training almost every day. That's half the job right there. Your look. So I got to make sure that I'm staying an example. I got to say an example, and especially if you put out a book, uh, school and rookies, you got to make sure you can back it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfect segue to the book. I'm actually getting some parts of the book. So this is the third book of your series, and let us know, the name, where to find it, what inspired. And so I got some parts of the book that I definitely want to read as far as excerpts. I'm only doing excerpts. Y'all can read the whole book. It's real spicy, and it's really interesting. It's more of a word of encouragement. It's more of it's not like tell all shoot style like the other two were. But it definitely has a lot of really encouraging words for those who are aspiring to be either professional wrestler, but specifically those who have thoughts, have aspirations, or in the indies and want to stand out among the pack. You really emphasize that very, very well and very strongly. So let the listeners know what caused you to come out with another book in this series. It's been a while since the last one, and where can they find it?
Yeah, the fans definitely wanted me to drop another book. That's what I keep getting asked. When are you gonna do another book? When are you gonna do another book? And for me, it was always when I go back to I always knew I was gonna go back to the WWE. It's always been you just know I don't know when, but I just have a feeling. So I was always gonna wait so I can get some more juicy stories. But with this one, with being on the indies, and especially with rookies, they ask, I also encourage them to pick veterans' minds. If you're in a car with them, if you're in a locker room with them, don't be afraid to be. I enjoy when young talent pick my mind. As long as it's not annoying questions.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing like that, because I remember when I first started in the business, I was in cars with people like Dory Funk and Jack Briscoe.
Wow, that's great.
Race, and
Did you pick their brain?
And oh my God, as much as I love to talk, I just wanted to listen. And but they taught me, even though I didn't work in the ring, they taught me things about how to stand out, how they stood out in the pack. And one of the things was they became originals. And it's not like everybody wants to be Rey Mysterio these days, jumping over the ropes, jumping through the ropes. They don't know how to make their own identity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's
also what I talked about in the book too. That's what I also talked about in the book. Also riding with vets. When me and Shad first started, we rode with Umaga, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, and we soaked up as much game as we can. Our first run with WWE, riding with them.
That's awesome, man. All right, name, where can they find it? And where are some of the platforms, man? I got some direct quotes that I want to pick your brain about in the book, and so I'm ready. As soon as you plug it, man, I'm ready to dive into it.
I got a question for you too, but go plug the book first.
Yeah, no problem. You can find it on PayHip. You can also find it on Gumroad. The links are all over my social media. I've been blasting it since last week. So if you go on Instagram, JTG 121084, the link is in my bio. Twitter, JTG 1284, link is in the bio.
Nice. What's the name of the book?
685. All this gaming entertainment for 685.
Yeah. What's the name of the book?
Oh damn! Why do you want to be a wrestler?
Did you clear that with Ron Simmons?
with Ron Simmons. Not even the first two. He was okay with the first two, so I didn't have to worry about the third.
There you go.
So
Clearance by proxy.
I got a question for you because you mentioned a name of someone to me who's still one of the hottest talents in the business. How does Shelton Benjamin stay so damn good?
Oh my! And look great. Not only does he look good in the ring, he looks great. Man, I'm gonna have to pick his brain some more.
Yeah, he's still amazing.
Yeah, he is. All right, here we go. So, on the "Lick the Part Please" section, you said, "quote If you look like a fan in the ring, you'll be treated like a fan in the ring." Let the listeners know your unpack that for the listeners as far as what made you emphasize that part of the book there.
So that part of the book, especially being on the indies, with fans, you have to understand the psychology with wrestling. They want to see something outside the normal. So with wrestling, we're larger than life characters. I'm not saying you have to look like a Marvel superhero, like I stated in the book. You don't have to look like an action figure, but you have to at least look like you belong on the shelf or you belong on the movie on the poster, and you look like you wanted to look like that. What you're trying to present. If you're trying to be a menacing character, you win in the gym and you don't have to be muscular. You can be husky. There's different sizes. There's different looks.
Yeah, baby.
As long as you're unique and you look like that on purpose.
That's right. It's a good point.
I see so many guys on the indies that I go to in Quakertown, Pennsylvania here and some other places where the promoter doesn't tell them what to look like or what to do. They can do this on their own. And a few of them really got their stuff together, but some of them are just like, what am I supposed to wear? Did they have no clue? They just, I'm making $50. Good, I'll just wear my underwear.
Yeah, JTG says, stop wrestling in gym shorts. Fancy sweatpants are my favorite. Baggy tights.
Baggy tights that don't fit. They're supposed to be fitted.
Yeah, exactly. You try to be who was it? There was a tag team I used to work. Well, I remember High Energy. That's who it was. Back in the day, with you were Owen Hart.
Oh my God.
That was intentional, though. That was
exactly. You try to be High Energy, but on accident. It don't work like that.
This is why they have in the majors. This is why they have wardrobe departments now to make sure that you're presenting yourself in the best way possible.
Yes, because you are an investment. Because they're investing money in you, so they got to make sure you look good. So before you even reach there, you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in your gear. You got to invest in your look.
Who taught you that? What to wear, what to look like, and how to present yourself? Was that back in Al Snow's box there?
Oh no, especially with the look that I came up with. That came up with just I actually came up with that in the amateur class. That was before I even got to to OVW TV. It was just second nature. I saw that whoever was successful, they had characters, they had catchphrases, and I just took what I love and swapped it out, for me, and turned the volume up, and you got JTG and you got Cryme Tyme.
Yeah,
we were just us with the volume turned up.
Yeah. You said rock new gear, throw on your entrance music in the car and vibe out. Did you ever do that back in the day?
Absolutely. I got that from working out. Like, but sometimes you don't even feel like working out. You have the right playlist. You go into the gym and you can lift the whole gym up. Same thing with wrestling. Sometimes you don't even feel like wrestling, or the crowd is not right. There's not enough people. You put the right playlist on, you could turn that 15 people crowd into WrestleMania.
What theme songs did you like listening to in the car? Wrestling theme songs.
Wrestling theme song. Brock was a good one that got your energy. Brock was a good one. For certain swag, I don't know. I love Razor Ramon's theme song. That's a good one.
I tell you what, like I remember I used to always working out to an EDM version of Fandango's theme song when it was really big. Yeah. It was like an EDM version of it that somebody remixed, and it was really upbeat. And I'll tell you another song I used to love working out to was Austin's theme song, the Disturbed version.
Oh, the one when he was doing that that era. Okay,
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't work out, but when I go into gyms or anywhere else, my theme song is the NWO. That was
NWO, yeah. That's a good one too.
man.
That's a good one too to get you pumped.
That was like the theme song for me.
Yeah. That Austin Disturbed theme song, man. I'm telling you, if you throw that back on, the Alliance days,
the Alliance era.
Oh man, it was good. It was amazing. You said the first time I ever got a match at a show in OVW was a non-televised weekend event. Lance Storm was training the contract talent at the time and booking the weekend shows. One Saturday after setting up the ring, I noticed Lance and the champion, then Johnny Jeter, looking over at me, talking over the shoulders. I played it cool. A few minutes later, Lance walks up to me with a clipboard and asks me why my wrestling name, since everyone in the back called me Nelly. Next thing I know, I'm booked for my first match against Chris Masters. That night became even more special when I signed my first autograph while taking down the ring, of course. And in that section, you talked about just being present, always being there, even, always packing your gear and things like that. Expand on that as far as just the importance of being present as an indie wrestler.
That was one of the first things I've learned when I got to Kentucky. There's a few people that took me on, the 3 people that took me under their wing when I got to Louisville. It was the Pope, Elijah Burke, Shad, and you guys know him as Armando. Umaga's manager, Estrada. Yeah. And he saw me on Wednesday at a Wednesday TV taping, and he said, "How come I didn't see you at the show this weekend?" I was like, "This show this weekend?" He was like, "You have to go to all the shows. Like if you just moved out here, out of sight, out of mind. If you're not here, you're always thinking about you. Everything's gonna keep on going, and you're just gonna be at home. You have to out of sight, out of mind. Be at every show, and make sure if you get a job, make sure it revolves around wrestling, because that's what you're here for. So you're not here to work a 9 to 5. So everything got to revolve around wrestling." Now, like, man, I got to find a job that that lets me get off on the weekend. So that even made it even tougher. But I got it.
Cryme Tyme was such a special time in everyone's lives because we loved watching Cryme Tyme.
Thank you.
The current tag team division in WWE. What do you feel? What it's like? Is it special? Does it need work? Are there teams in there? I don't see any real steady tag teams except Paul Heyman's guys.
I think the tag team division is getting a lot more play than when me and Shad was there. As far as character wise, I think they got some cool tag teams in there. I think they could do some more with some more character tag teams. That's not too over the top. Like for example, I was digging the Viking tag team, but
the War Raiders. Yeah,
the War Raiders. Yeah, I like the tag team, but I just couldn't grasp the gimmick with them. You know what I mean? Too much. So like it's a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you about this. I want to talk about black tag teams. That's something that has been such a huge part of WWE history when it came to Soulman Rocky Johnson, and Tony Atlas, and of course Cryme Tyme, and you had what's that? Yeah, the Hurt. Yeah, well, the Hurt Business was really huge as well. And I remember Doom, from WCW.
Bobo Brazil and Sweet Daddy Siki.
Sweet Siki, absolutely. And so there's such a rich history when it comes to black tag teams. Now we're experiencing the Street Profits and in the WWE. I don't watch SmackDown. I watch Raw and do a Raw review every single week with Vince Russo. I keep up with SmackDown as far as socials and just highlights and things like that. But I watched some highlights of Clash in Paris, and I was able to watch the full entrance of the Street Profits, and they usually have that one theme song, but they got a new theme song. They got a new type of deal where they're kind of pumping their arms down, and you had the production was amazing. You had the entire Paris crowd doing this with them, and
they had masks on.
And they had masks on. That was really, really, really cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about just the legacy of black tag teams and what Cryme Tyme was hoping to fill and be a part of that rich history.
With us, we just wanted to be remembered for being authentic. That's what Shad and I's secret was, and that's what we wanted to bring to being one of the for being a black tag team, for just being remembered and being very entertaining. Mm-hmm. We couldn't control the outcome of our matches or our matches in general, but our personality, what we did, what they allowed us to get away with on camera. I think we did a great job of doing that and still making everybody happy. Especially, I was talking about this early with the nursing home. When we first got the script, we kind of looked at each other like, well, how are we gonna make this? We was kind of just confused. Yeah. But that's one of the most classic vignettes. We just took what they call it shit and made it into a luscious, delicious chicken dinner. And looking back, we had fun doing it. And I think it probably was a test, and we passed it with flying colors. I heard Vince likes to test guys. They give with Dusty Rhodes, gave him the polka dots, and you now look at Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Something interesting about that was, and I've said this, I still stand by this. I think most of the wrestling world stand by this. If there was ever a list, and there probably is in the Twitter, the YouTube world, of certain moments where I think they made the wrong call of who the winner was in the title match. I always remember, I thought Booker T should have beaten Triple H at WrestleMania 19, I believe it was, for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think y'all should have beat Jeri-Show at SummerSlam, man. I think it was that.
I thought that was the night too.
That was the moment. That was the moment, man. Take us back. We've had this conversation before, but for the new listeners, was that a moment where y'all were really starting to peak and at the really height of y'all's career as a tag team? Y'all were super over. Featured tag team match against Jeri-Show at SummerSlam. Why didn't Vince make that decision to go ahead and turn it over and have y'all be tag team champs?
Yeah, that day, for the fans that don't know, talent, we don't know the outcome of our matches like weeks or days before. Sometimes we find out the day of. And that day, Shad and I, we was going back and forth, even on the road when we were working Jericho prior to the pay-per-view, Jericho and Big Show. You think they're gonna let us get the straps? You gonna get the titles? Like, yeah, we're over, man. It's time for us to put it on them. And Jericho and Big Show, they're not even a tag team. You put them together. You don't know how long they're gonna be together for, and blah blah blah. And then the agents were kind of like dropping hints that we need the titles and the metal detectors, you have to go make sure you have to check it, just dropping hints. Like, okay, we getting the titles because it's time. They're letting us know, dropping crumbs. Mm-hmm. And then the day of the pay-per-view, it was still too good to be true. So I was still a little on the, even though everything was saying that we were going to get the belts, it was still a little part of me that was like, don't get too happy yet. Hold on, wait. Be a little, don't get too excited. And I get too excited. Like later in the afternoon, Arn was our agent. Arn Anderson came up to us. He didn't even get to the finish yet. He was just talking about the match and how we were going to start and blah blah blah. I'm just waiting for him to say the finish. And Shad and I are waiting. I can just tell Shad too. We don't have to communicate. We just had that eye contact. Like we're both waiting for the finish. Like, are we going over?
Yeah.
And then we dropped the news. Like, yeah, JTG, you're gonna take the fall from Jericho. And we had to keep it professional. We couldn't just be like, oh, put the boo boo face on. But kept the straight face. Like, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. And then
Dan would have been real good at that point, right?
huh?
Dan would have been real good at
Yeah,
that
that would have
point.
been a good point.
Yeah.
Real good at that point. Then when me and Shaq it was in private, we was like, damn, we thought this was it. We're like, oh man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yikes, man. It was one of those moments where it should have happened, man. I got a lot of quotes, but for the sake of time, definitely want to keep this going, man, and hopefully bring you back soon to talk about some quotes and to bring more into a lot of the book that what you said. It's a really good read so far. You always have the charisma in your books as you do in real life, and this.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that. That's a good one.
Yes, indeed.
So where can I find a copy of the book? Where can I find a copy of the book now? Give it to us again.
Gumroad and Payhip, and you can find the links in my bio on social media, Instagram and Twitter, JTG1284.
Very nice.
All right,
we got one super chat before we go. Rollin 499. When I heard about Malcolm Jamal Warner passing away, the first person I thought about was the late Shad Gaspard. R.I.P. to those two young brothers. Yeah, I thought of Shad too. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, it was very, very similar, very airy too. How similar it was.
Yeah. What were you think? What were your thoughts when you heard that Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away? It's very similarly to Shad.
Yeah, at first you never believed the story, and then when as a few hours go by, and you keep seeing it on your social media, it's like, all right, damn, this is real. Like we all grew up with Theo, and I love Magic School Bus, so it was definitely a shock. And then as the details came, like he was with his daughter, and he drowned, and I was like, sheesh, like man.
Yeah, especially seeing the video that he made like right before he passed away, before he went on his vacation, and just being very and positive and motivational and encouraging. He was just riding in his car, just having a motivational video of the thoughts that he was thinking of that day. So you never know, man. You just never know. But one thing I do know is that be sure to give me credit for that quote that I just gave.
That charisma line. I got you.
All right. Payhip, only $6.95 for the gems that he.
$6.85.
$6.85.
I knocked off a dime. $6.85.
There you go.
What a deal! What a deal!
Yeah, it is. It really is, man. It really is. It's a good read so far. It's really funny. It has the JTG signature all over it, just like the other two books.
I can't wait to read it.
Yes, indeed. And even a lot of your previous books, a lot of people reference your previous books. I remember texting you probably about a month or two ago because there was something. I teach classes on my Pancakes and Power Sam shows, pro wrestling related, and there was something about. I think I was talking about racism or something like that. And I texted you, and I was able to bring up the book that the second book I think it was in your series, and I went back and read a bunch of it, and I just chuckled again. Just like the first time I read it, it was just really funny. So those books still available for purchase?
Oh yeah, those are on Amazon. Yeah, you could look. You can find those on Amazon easily. I'm gonna drop this one on Amazon too, but I'm gonna make sure that's $6.85 because on Amazon I'm gonna have to bump the price up.
Yeah. So get it while you can now. Go to JTG 1284 on Twitter is right underneath his name. You see right there to buy the book before Amazon gets his dirty little hands on it and embrace
it.
Amazon jungle.
Yes, indeed. Jay, it's always a pleasure, man, for you to be on the show. You are a friend of the show. You're a friend of mine, and it's always a pleasure to catch up and talk with you again, my man.
I appreciate that, Chris. Great catching up with you, Bill.
Yeah, you too. We'll do this again, definitely.
Absolutely. We're gonna have some more great news for you guys. You guys will be the first to know. I'll do a podcast.
Great news is always welcome on Unscripted. Always.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, have a good night, everybody. Slow.